Folks, there are certain newsmakers that we'll always remember. Folks tied to headlines so extraordinary that they instantly become part of American pop culture. And when they disappear from the public eye, we often wonder, well, you know, what became of them? Well, that's certainly true of my next guest. Take a look. Crimes of passion, affairs of the heart gone tragically wrong. The extreme cases instantly become worldwide news stories and captivate the public. But few tales of lovers who lost it have left a bigger impact than John and Lorena Bobbitt's. Their volatile marriage, filled with allegations of abuse and infidelity, came to a gruesome conclusion when, in a fit of rage, Lorena took the one thing most precious to her husband and committed the one act every man fears the most. Joining us now, please welcome Lorena Bobbitt. You know, but the audience, though, all this here, what was all this about? And then she looked at me and went, I know. Take me back to that time. What happened?
Well, Steve, I was young. I came to United States when I was 18 years old. I was naive. I was looking for the opportunity in the United States, so I wanted to live the American dream. I wanted to, have a family. I wanted to meet a man, get married, and I did. I met John, and he was nice, and he was charming, and he was kind, and things started to change after, we got married. He was starting to disappear from the house. He disappeared for 1 day or 2 days. Well, it turned out to be that he turned into an alcoholic. He was doing drugs, and he was cheating with multiple women when we were married. So I was concerned where he was, and then he was just beating me up because he didn't like to be questioned, but I had the right because I was the wife, and I was concerned.
You mean physically?
Physically abused, mentally abused, emotionally, and it became worse and worse. So I was afraid, I was fearing for my life at that point.
I'm going to ask you this question, but I don't want you to take it in any way. But I know the answer because I've talked to a lot of women in this situation. Why didn't you leave him?
I called the police in many occasions, and police will ask me and said, do you want to file a report? And I said no, because I fall into the same pattern there. The battered woman syndrome falls into, which is, the honeymoon, when he will promise me that he will change, he wouldn't. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know there were shelters for me to go to. And remember, I was isolated. I didn't have my family. I feel embarrassed to talk about domestic abuse because I didn't want that to happen. And it happens to me.
Right.
I feel ashamed. I feel scared. And that's how I...
So what was the breaking point for you?
Well, my body couldn't take it. My mind couldn't take it. I was very scared. So obviously I snapped. I mean, all the abuse that I had from him, I basically, I cut off his penis because he abused me that much. But he abused me. I did not mean it because I was under the battered woman syndrome, and that's what happened when a man pushes the woman so far and so low. My self-esteem was down, and he came that night and abused me, and I went to the kitchen for a glass of water and to calm myself up because he was abusing me that night. And all of the things I remember was I took a glass of water, and then I found myself in the street with a penis in one hand and a knife in the other. And so, yeah, that happens. I mean, I'm telling you.
It happens.
This is a true story. I am here to... This is the truth. This is a true story. I'm telling you, and I'm here to tell you and to tell everyone what happened when a woman gets abused by a man.
Can I ask you a couple questions? So, but yes. What made you take it, though? I mean, you cut it off, and
I was insane.
Where you going with it?
I don't know. I mean, that's how the reaction of Yeah.
Why you leave with it? That's what I don't, look, I'm not really sure how I want to receive this.
I don't know. I know. I know.
You ain't think of just like lay it on a pillow so when he wake up, you know, you wake up and all of a sudden you wake up. You know, I don't know if I would rather wake up and see it laying next to my pillow and try to bring it back, you know. Come here, come on. I don't know what I'll do.
Yeah. It's
But when you threw it out the window, though, that's the part. Now, we got to go find it.
Yes.
You know, you out here. You know, what are we looking for? I'm helping with this search. I don't give a damn. Gauze me up, pack me, put a tourniquet on me, but I got to get out here. I got to find it. Now, find it. Got grass on it. I'm trying.
They did. They did. They had grass on it.
Come on, speak to me. Come on, it's okay.
Well, I tell you, yeah. Yeah, well, that's part of a bizarre story. It really is. I mean, as much as we understand that my story actually has humor, but also we shine the light on domestic violence as well, and that's what I wanted to share.
I want to say this to you. I think what you did was out of desperation, defending yourself. I am so against the violence of women. So I can't stand that, man. I don't like dudes that's abusive to kids, women, and the elderly. I hate them. I hate them criminals right there.
That's true.
You know, getting jumped on by a bigger, stronger person repeatedly whenever they want to, that's horrific.
That's very bad. Yes.
Now, you ain't jumping on me tonight, because when you get up, you're going to have to go find your Johnson. It's down the street, on the highway, down by the creek. And some chipmunks is playing with it. A raccoon done picked it up.
No, he was lucky.
John Bobbitt has always denied the allegations of abusing Lorena and was acquitted of the charge of marital sexual assault in 1993. Lorena was found not guilty and not liable for her actions by reason of temporary insanity.
Yeah.
We're gonna hear more when we come back. Don't go away. We'll be right back.